You have a new book out which is doing superbly. It's called The Plot to Change America, How Identity Politics is Dividing the Land of the Free. Everybody, get it now, okay? The Plot to Change America. I'm just going to dive in. I'm not going to beat about the bush. Where did the concept of identity politics come from?
Well, if you have to get a starting place, obviously the starting place is Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. That's a very long time ago. I would put it with Antonio Gramsci, whom you know well.
An Italian cripple in a prison cell in Italy.
Yes, the fascists put him in prison, so his brain stops working. Very bad idea. As we know from St. Paul and everybody else, you do a lot of good thinking in prison.
And writing.
Right.
When my dad was in a communist prison, he met some of the greatest minds in Hungary, and he said it was an education. But when you're in a fascist prison and you're a communist, watch out. Don't give that guy a pen and paper. That's all I'm saying.
So he sits there and starts writing prison diaries.
Yes.
And that's the name of the book. And it dawns on him. It had actually dawned on him earlier that Marx and Engels had promised revolutions everywhere.
Global revolution.
The working class was going to rise inexorably. But they had all failed everywhere except in one place in 1917.
In a feudal, backward, Tsarist imperial nation.
In a backwater part of Europe. Thank you very much. But since 1848 to the present, the German Revolution failed. There was no German Soviet. The Biennio Rosso failed in Italy. In Hungary, it succeeded for exactly 133 days.
Right.
So Gramsci is sitting there going, "What's
the problem?
What is going on?" And then he says, the worker sucks. The worker is not going to rise. Yeah. The worker has bought into the cultural givens of the oppressor class. He has bought into the family. The patriarchal family. Sorry.
The Western tradition.
He's bought into the Western tradition. He's patriotic. He's bought into religion. And he's bought into the economic system. This is not good. The worker has false consciousness.
Yes.
So we need
to raise their consciousness.
We need to have. We need to change the cultural hegemony, and then introduce the counter hegemony. So
class distinction. Marx's original concept simply isn't enough to ignite communist revolution in the Western world, including America.
And that's what Marx, So Gramsci, I would say, and I think you might agree, is the first of the neo-Marxists, the first of the cultural Marxists.
Which will end up as the new left.
The new left. He's the first cultural Marxist. He believes it has to begin with culture. Let me just fast forward to today, because coming in here, I read that Nicole Hannah-Jones now is saying that the 1619 Project, it is not history. She is trying to change the national narrative.
Yeah.
Okay.
To which I retweeted. I took her tweet this morning, I think it was, or yesterday, and I said, "Thank you, Hannah, as the founder of the 1619 Project, for admitting that it's a bunch of bloody propaganda," which it is. The idea that America is genetically, in its gene code, racist, and that slavery can never be wiped off the soul of this nation. She admitted it. The book is The Plot to Change America, How Identity Politics is Dividing the Land of the Free. The author is Mike Gonzalez, Senior Fellow on E Pluribus Unum, the Angelus T. Arredondo Senior Fellow at the most important conservative organizer. It's not just, can I just tell you, the 3rd or 4th year in a row that the Heritage Foundation, now helmed by the incredible Kay Coles James, has been ranked the most influential think tank, not in America, in the world. That's why it deserves your support. We have just scratched the surface. We will continue in a moment. Don't go anywhere. I'm Sebastian Gorka.